Good morning. My name is Kathy Day, and I'm a practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living Eugene, and I will be leading our meditation today. I did want to say that thanks to my application of the teachings of this center, get to celebrate a happy Kathy Day every day. So please join with me to sit and be comfortable. Let everything go from your lap and just breathe. This is a moment that we give to ourselves to just be present. Breathe in love. Breathe out resistance. Breathe in love, the infinite love from which we were all called forth into being. We are one in this love, surrounded by it. It moves through us. It moves through our world. We breathe in love to tap into that love, ever present, to bring it into our experience right here and right now. We breathe out resistance. We breathe out any attachment to an old idea that no longer serves us. We breathe out anything that says we are not whole and perfect and complete, just as we are in the mind of God. So we breathe in the love and we breathe out resistance. Breathe in love and breathe out resistance. We open up to a greater idea of what and who we are. Born from the love that we were created from. This idea recognizes our power and our authority to choose the direction of our experience. So we breathe in the love and we breathe out resistance. From the moment we are born to this present moment, we are pure, unconditioned love. At our very core, there is only love. And in this love, we are one with all creation. We are one with its beauty. We are one with its power. We are one with its playfulness and joyfulness. And we take this moment in time to breathe that in and recognize our connection. It's so easy when we're in nature. We see the leaves fall freely when it is their time. And we are never anxious for the tree, for we know this is part of its cycle. We know that come the spring, new leaves will be born. We are one with the rocks and the grass. The grass that has an angel standing beside each blade, urging it to grow, to expand, to multiply, to plant its roots deep. And we are invited to do that also, to plant our roots deep into the ground, knowing that our roots support us and draw to us whatever we require for our greater expression of life. We admire the beauty in nature and recognize that this is the beauty in us as well. Not just aesthetic beauty, but beauty in process. Seeing how the water is absorbed from the sea, and then in the clouds it falls to the ground and nourishes all the plants and collects and moves once again to the sea. The perfect process. And those perfect processes are working in our lives as well. Within our body, within our atoms, within the stars in the sky, within the atmosphere that we breathe. There is a perfect process going on to sustain us and support us, to bring us joy, to remember our connection with one another and with our world. What a joy it is to know this. What a joy it is to remember this, to come back from wherever places we have left our energy, to come back to right here and right now, where we remember the glory of life and remember that it is ours. If you are still here, you are not done. There is something greater to be expressed and to be born through you. What a joyful place to live, knowing that whatever you require for that greater expression will come to you in the way of inspiration, in the way of upliftment, in the way of forgiveness and release. In the way of changing our mind about what we think about who we think about, and how we think about them. Breathe in love. Breathe out resistance. As that greater love moves through you, seeking greater expression, the old shell that you have around yourself, the old identity of what and who you are, has to fall away. And just like a baby bird breaks through the egg to have its fuller expression as the adult bird, we break our old shells that hold us into our old place of being and open to a new expression of life and beauty and love and peace and power. We don't have to strain. We don't have to be anxious about it. For all paths are love, going to love, coming from love. Breathe in love. Breathe out resistance. Let the shell that contained the old you fall away so that you can embrace the greater expression of life that seeks its expression through you, uniquely you. We need and desire all the diversity of life, the beauty and the growth, the color and the light, the sounds of nature, the sounds of music, the coolness of the forest. How blessed are we in this moment to be and know this world, this place, this time, and open to a greater expression of it through us. We give thanks for all the good that is in our experience right here and right now. And we release anything that no longer serves us, any ideas, any relationships, and open to that fullness of life in us to come forward into our experience. I release and I let go. I let spirit guide my life. My heart is open wide. I am here. I am here for love. So come back into your body and know that you are ready for a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for being here this morning on this day.
Good morning and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Eugene. My name is Linda Finley. I am the spiritual leader here, and I am so grateful you could be with us, whether you're listening to it live or whether you're watching it at a later recorded time. We're glad to have you. It's the final Sunday in June. It's hard to believe. It's supposed to be 114 degrees here today. Thank God we have air conditioning here at the center, so we're doing okay. And I just want to welcome you. Center for Spiritual Living is embarking in the middle of its 51st year in serving the Eugene Springfield community and Lane County here in Oregon. And now we're serving the world because many of you are watching from California and Canada and Europe and around the country, Colorado. So hello to all my friends, and to my new friends and old, welcome, and we're glad you're here with us. Here at the center, we know that spiritually empowered people will live richer and fuller lives. So we use our teaching, the science of mind, to inspire minds, open hearts, and empower lives. We're glad you are with us for this journey. I'm so grateful for my years in this teaching. It has been a true transformative time in my life. When I think back to 1994, when I walked into my first service and was blown away, oh my gosh, there's people who think the way I do. You know, I'm not totally crazy, and I may be totally crazy, but there's a bunch of us, so we're all good together, and that's all that matters. And we have an organization known as Centers for Spiritual Living, and we have a global vision statement, which is our overarching vision for the world and what it will be. And we've broken it down into little pieces, and we've been giving you a little one each week. And this week is the final one. Next week, we'll start back at the top of it again so that we go through the whole thing 4 times in a year. And this one is just short, sweet, and to the point. It wraps the whole thing up. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. For everyone and for all of creation. What we need to realize, oneness is one of the big overarching principles that we use. And people can hear that word and think it means sameness or fitting in or becoming like, and it doesn't. Out of the many come one. And that's even the Latin motto for the United States is e pluribus unum, out of many one. We are all a variety of completely different people and beings. There is so much diversity on this planet in the creatures that inhabit it, in the styles of faith, in all of the things that happen. And yet, at the heart of it all, we're all connected. We are all part of one infinite thing. Thich Nhat Hanh calls it interbeing. And that's what we do. That's who we are. So welcome. I want to thank Kathy Day for that beautiful meditation that she did leading us into here. And I'm going to ask her now to come back and do an opening treatment to set the tone for today's service.
Good morning. So, in order to set the tone for this, we want to relax, close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and remember and recognize there is one life, one power, and one presence that exists in and through all creation and more. We know that we are guided to be at this place for our good this morning. We open our minds and our hearts to embrace and understand this morning's message by Reverend Bonnie, the inspiration and upliftment of the music of Reverend Andy. And we give thanks for this opportunity to give to ourselves, to nurture ourselves, and to embrace that greater idea of what and who we are. I know that this will be a perfect service because it is already perfect in the mind of the divine. And we just allow and let it flow into its perfection. I release this prayer treatment to the one source of all that is, knowing it is so, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Kathy. Love it. It's so cool today because we've got Bonnie and Andy Anderson here from Roseburg, who are originally from Fremont. Kathy Day was originally from Fremont. So we're kind of having a Fremont reunion this morning. So if any of you Fremont folks are out there listening, hi y'all. This is for you guys. So we have a practice each month where we do an affirmation all month long. We try to assimilate it. We read it, but we also speak it aloud to bring it more into embodiment in our lives. They're going to bring it up on the screen so that you can have it in your own thing and see it. And I'm going to read it through once, and then I'm going to ask you, wherever you are, to go ahead and read it aloud with me. Say it aloud with me, because when we hear it in our own voice, it really imprints in our body and our soul. So for now, just listen. I lean forward into my life, transforming pain and discomfort into lessons of love and power. I consciously live my own truth. And now we'll say that together. I lean forward into my life, transforming pain and discomfort into lessons of love and power. I consciously live my own truth. To consciously live our own truth is the goal of all life. That is our soul's call, and that's what we've been working with this month. And today, Bonnie Anderson, Reverend Bonnie Anderson, is going to be speaking to that. But before that, her fabulous husband, well, and she's a fabulous wife. They're both fabulous people. Okay. The Reverend Andy Anderson is going to be doing the music for us before the talk and then after the offering. So you've got, bear with us, folks. We're live together in the sanctuary. So we know it's going to work. Take it away, Andy.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome this morning. When I love myself just the way I am, I can free my power wherever I am. At any time I can redefine, get a new paradigm, and let myself grow and grow. There's only one life, and life is divine. I know it, I claim it, it's mine. And I let myself see it starts with me. It's perfection that I am. When I see the truth, know the truth, be the truth as me. I release and let go, give love and know. When I love myself just the way I am, I can free my power wherever I am. At any time I can redefine, get a new paradigm, and let myself grow and grow. When I love myself, just the way I am, I can free my power wherever I am. And when I decide to change my mind, get a new paradigm, let my love grow and grow. When I know the truth, it has to produce the results I'm looking for. It's done unto me as I believe. Possibilities all I see. When I see the best, be the best, be the best I can be, then I know that I know that I know that I know that I know. Then I love myself just the way I am. I can free my power wherever I am. At any time I can redefine, get a a new paradigm and let myself grow and grow. Yeah. When I love myself just the way I am, I can free my power wherever I am. At any time I can redefine, get a new paradigm to let myself grow and grow. Let my love, let it grow and grow. It's all I am. Let it grow and grow. It's all you are. Let it grow and grow. Let it go and grow.
Good morning, everyone. How exciting to be here in the Eugene Sanctuary with Linda and a couple of other people. It's just such a privilege, such a privilege. It's been a long time since we've been here. And Reverend Andy and I really look forward to coming back and being with you all in person when you have your in-person meetings. So I'm Reverend Bonnie Anderson and just privileged to be here with you this morning. And I really love the monthly theme of the call, the soul's call. I just love that. It's so beautiful because the soul calls us forth in so many ways. Andy's song is a call from the soul to love ourselves just the way we are without having to change anything. And that's where our power is. And that's what the soul calls us to do. So Khalil Gibran in The Prophet said, "You are far greater than you know, and all is well." You are far greater than you know, and all is well. This is what the soul speaks to us. When the soul speaks, calls us forth, it speaks only truth. And the soul knows, your soul knows who you are. Your soul knows the truth. It knows the truth that shines through all of the judgments you have about yourself. The soul knows the perfection of who you are. When the soul calls, it always speaks the truth. Always speaks the truth. And the soul knows that everything is possible. So the soul may call forth something in you that doesn't seem possible, but if it's coming from that inner wisdom of the soul, all things are possible. Eric Butterworth, one of my favorite authors, in a book called The Flow of Life, said, "God is a circle that is centered in you. All the attributes of the infinite are in focus as you, flowing forth as you. You are this flow. You are this flow. You are this flow at the point where you are. Thus, you are a child of the universe, a son and daughter of God." Meditate on this tremendous insight. This is the voice of the soul. This is how the soul speaks to us, that we are in the flow of life, naturally in the flow of life. There's nothing we need to do to get there. We're born in the flow. So today's topic is wonderful. It's the soul's call to freedom. I love that, the soul's call to freedom, because the soul craves freedom. And freedom, if you think about how you feel when you feel free, freedom is spaciousness. Freedom is expansive. Freedom is open and accepting. And when you compare that to how we feel, how our bodies feel when we're in fear, or when we're worried, or when we're in lack, that is constricted. We're closed off and not open to the gifts of the universe. So freedom opens us up to be able to receive, to be able to live our lives freely, open. And it's the freedom to be our true selves, the freedom to be who we are. Like Reverend Andy said, to know that I love myself just the way I am. Because so many times we grow up thinking that there's, or we're just in this society and we know that, oh, we have to, I'll be okay when I change this, when I get some more skills, when I get a better job, when I do my spiritual work. But the call to freedom says we are free to do anything at any time. Not to try to be anything other than what we are. Sherry Huber has a beautiful book that I recommend to you, and it's called Regardless of What You Were Taught to Believe, There's Nothing Wrong with You. There is nothing wrong with you. Because, growing up, little things can make us think that there's my dad used to tell me I'm lazy. Things like that, the things that we heard that we took as our own, that we thought something was wrong with us, that we had to do something to be acceptable in our families to others. So Sherry Huber says, everything you need to know will come to you in compassion. If a voice is not speaking compassionately, it has nothing worthwhile to tell. The soul speaks with compassion. The soul speaks with love. The other voices we have going on in our head, I know I do, the voices that compare things and say, well, that's good, but it could be better. Or you did it okay, but it could be better. Or, oh man, you messed up on that. Those voices are not the soul because they're not coming from compassion. When we hear a compassionate voice, we know it comes from the truth. It's speaking the truth to us, loving ourselves just the way we are. And guess what? In order to answer the soul's call to freedom, we may have to let go of some things. Some of those old ideas, the idea that I got from my dad that I was lazy, I had to let go of that. So there may be some things that we need to let go of to step into that place of freedom. Deepak Chopra said, relinquish your attachment to the known. Step into the unknown, and you will step into the field of all possibilities, place of freedom. So I don't know about you, but I want to be in that field of all possibilities. This is what the soul tells us. Nothing is impossible. The only thing we need to do is to let go of our attachment to the known. Now, easier said than done, right? Moving outside our comfort zone has never been easy. But quantum physics tells us that there are an infinite number of possibilities, of possible realities in front of us at all times. And if we don't like the life that we're in or the reality, then we can just slip into another reality. They're all happening at once. And when we do that, we raise our vibration because those possible realities have a higher vibration. I read a quote from Michael Beckwith the other day, and I wish I had it with me, but he was saying I vibrate at the place of a miracle. There's a miracle ready to happen today, and I vibrate at that place of that miracle. So moving outside of our comfort zone can be very terrifying. I don't know about you, but change is sometimes difficult for me. But it's letting go is sort of like swinging on a trapeze. Let's say you're going to circus school and they're teaching you how to use the trapeze, and you're swinging and it feels great, and you're up there in the air and you're swinging back and forth, and then all of a sudden you see the other swing coming towards you, and you realize that in order to grab that other swing and swing the other way, you have to let go. You have to let go of the one you're on. And there's that terrifying moment when you're not holding anything, you're up in the air. And the thing to know is that either you will catch that next bar and continue to swing, or a net will appear beneath you, so you will be caught. Because it is safe to leap into the unknown. Remember, this is a great quote I found from the Granola Book Club. I don't know who they are, but the Granola Book Club said this. Remember, this free-falling zone of unlimited possibilities is a fantastic place. The mind is granted much more freedom to create reality than its typical confined spot where everything is already known. You know, sometimes our comfort zone is a place where we feel like we know everything. Life is predictable. You know, we know it's going to be on TV at a certain time, or if I turn on Netflix, there'll be a movie that, you know, and our lives become predictable and known. But are they really? I mean, what has this last, however long COVID, this last year and a half, who could have predicted that? And that we became in our comfort zone, sometimes in our homes during COVID. And now we have the freedom to begin to emerge into the world, begin to feel that freedom and express that freedom. It reminds me of that movie, The Raiders of the Lost Ark. Remember that movie with Harrison Ford? I remember when Andy and I went to see that in San Francisco. We lived in San Francisco when it came out, so I know it was a long time ago. And we loved the movie. It was so exciting. And there was one point when Harrison Ford was being chased by some really bad guys, and he was down in a cave somewhere, you know, and he's running and running and running, and they're getting closer, and you see them coming up, and you're running, and all of a sudden he screeches to a halt because in front of him is a chasm that drops off into nothingness. You can't even see the bottom of it. So behind him, he has the scary bad men, and in front of them, he's got this cavern. And something tells him to step forward into the unknown. So he puts his foot off the chasm, and lo and behold, the earth appears beneath him. He takes another step, and the earth appears there. So it continues to cross this chasm, and the earth, as he has the faith to step out, the earth appears beneath him. And then the bridge disappears and the bad guys can't get it. But it's a wonderful example of stepping out into the unknown. Andy and I took a leap 14 years ago, almost 14 years ago. And some of you have heard this story before. But speaking of Fremont, we were serving at the Fremont Church, happily living our lives. And you know, loving where we live, loving the town and everything. And then an idea dropped in that we wanted to do something more. We wanted to move to expand out of what was known and expected. We wanted to expand our lives and our ministries. And so we heard about a position in Roseburg, Oregon. We'd been camping here a few years before that. So we said, we loved Oregon, maybe we should go and explore this. So we became one of the candidates, and they flew us out to Roseburg, and we went to the church, and we did our dog and pony show and a workshop, and they had a question and answer period afterwards. And in that question and answer period, the first question we got, a man raised his hand and he said, so how long would it take you to sell your house and move out here? I kind of went, whoa. That's moving to the unknown. Here we are, over 50 years old. We never thought about selling our house and all. You know, that we really had to let go of the past if we were going to move into this new position. And we were so scared. But when we walked out of the church that morning, something told us this was the right place to be. And we looked at each other and we said, oh my gosh, we're going to do this, aren't we? And we surprised ourselves, but we were being called. We were being called forth by our souls for something more. And so we went home and we told people, we told our minister, we told our loved ones, and they weren't real happy. They didn't say yes, maybe a few of them did, but the pastor of our church was very upset with us that we were leaving and said, "Oh my God, don't go there, that's crazy." And my sister, who, you know, we had lived near for many years and raised our kids together, was angry. She was so angry that we were leaving. She said, "Well, you guys can't run a church, that's crazy." And she, you know, she was hurt. She was hurt because we lived a couple miles from each other for many years, probably 20 years. And our one of our sons was okay with it. The other one was like really surprised and kind of hurt that we were leaving. And so when we step out into the unknown, when we listen to that call, sometimes we have to, it's not going to always make everybody happy. We can't always make our decisions on what other people are going to think. Because when I do that, I get into trouble. When I think about, well, this is what I want to say, but I wonder what that person's going to think about it. Because when we listen to the soul, we have the faith to branch out and express our own uniqueness. In the midst of this oneness, we are so unique. We have gifts to give that no one else has to give. And Andy and I, at that moment, were the perfect people to serve at the Center for Spiritual Living in Roseburg. And once we said yes, and once we dealt with the feelings of those that were against us, things happened quickly. Things happened very quickly. Within 2 weeks, we had sold our home in Roseburg, in Fremont, and purchased a home in Roseburg. That fast. And not only that, so the soul, you know, the universe makes room for you. When you're ready to move, if you're committed, it makes room for you to step into. So it happened very quickly. We were home packing, and were we scared? Yes, of getting out of our comfort zone. We had the Signs of Mind textbook open on our deck. And we'd get scared and we'd walk out there and we'd randomly open up to a page and read it and go, "Oh, that's right. That's right. There's the truth. There's the soul's call right there." So that's what got us through it. And not only that, but we manifested our dream home. We moved from a small 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home in Fremont, California. We were able to get a good price for it. So we moved it. We manifested our dream home on the river, a beautiful new home that some of you have seen, that we just love living in. Now, after we served at that church for 7 years, we were called to something else. But it's that getting out of our comfort zone. And I tell you, when we made that decision to move to Roseburg, we felt so free. We were terrified, yet we felt exhilarated and free at the same time. So when you let go of that barn, there's great rewards on the other side. And the universe always supports us in our leaps, always supports us. I believe that we are here on earth for a reason at this time. There's a great shift happening. And all of us together are here to listen to the soul's call, to listen to that call of freedom, to move into a new way of being. As Linda talked about the purpose of this teaching in this church, to realize even more the oneness, to realize the oneness when our country may be very separated, when there may be very different points of view, to still have the courage to step out and speak our truth. Let's support each other in taking small steps or great leaps. That's another thing. If you're going to listen to the call of freedom, you don't have to sell your house and move to another state. You can take baby steps. You can take small steps along the road. You can get up in the morning and decide to listen to that small, still voice that tells you to do something different that day, to drive to work in a new way, to visit an old friend, to any way that you feel called, to just begin to say yes. And when we begin to say yes to that call, it gets easy because we trust, we see that the universe is here for us. And I've noticed a lot of people talking about coming out of this time of COVID and feeling anxious because we've created kind of our own, maybe uncomfortable comfort zones, but we've been isolated somewhat. And especially earlier in the year. And now it's time to open up and come out. And so that is also a leap, being able to emerge and create a new world, to look at things in a new way, to look at the lessons that we learned during this time of shutdown. My sister Debbie lives and brother-in-law live in Livermore, California. And California recently reduced, they got rid of all COVID restrictions. They don't have to wear masks anywhere. They don't have to socially distance. There are no limits on the number of people that can gather. And the last time we were there, they were so strict. You wore masks everywhere. It was followed very strictly. And I said to her the other day, I said, wow, is it hard to get used to it? She said, not at all. Not at all. So we're ready to step into this new phase of freedom, knowing that we're safe. So let's support each other as we listen to the soul's call for freedom. Sometimes it's necessary to let go of the trapeze bar to grab a new one, and the universe will supply energy for the leap. It will give us the energy we need to leap. And the ground will appear beneath our feet, and the solution will be here. Solution will be here, even though it might be frightening. So let us step forth together and answer this call to freedom, the call that's coming from our very soul, from the very depths of our being, to answer the soul's call to live our lives full out and expansive. Open, wherever you are, open your arms right now. Come on, guys. Yeah, feel that feeling of expansiveness, the freedom, like an eagle. I was sitting by the river a couple of days ago and I saw 2 bald eagles fly by. That's freedom. Think of yourself as a bird soaring above the earth. That freedom, embody that freedom because it is yours. So today, wherever you are, repeat after me. I answer the call to freedom. I step out in faith. And I know that the universe has my back. And so it is. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Bonnie. That was really wonderful, and I really enjoyed hearing you speak. This is the time of the service when we bless the offering. There's going to be a slide up on the screen that's going to show you all the different ways that you can contribute to CSL Eugene. And I just wanted to take this time to say thank you to all the people who regularly give to us through PayPal and Breeze, and whether they're at church or not, that they support the great work of this center. And this is the way that we participate in the great circulation of good in this universe. What a gift it is to be able to do that. So we take our gifts in our hands or hold our hand over our heart, knowing the gifts that we bring. And we know that as we give these gifts with the love in the intention that they serve this center and the world, that we give our gifts fully and freely and joyfully in that participation of the great circulation of good in our world. And we know that it comes back to us, pressed down and overflowing when we need it. We give, we receive. We give, we receive. And we allow the blessings of life to flow for us and through us. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you.
Every day I'm so grateful, thankful. Oh, it's a new day on my horizon. All that I am, all I can be, oh, it's just a gratitude shining through me. Nature's gives to me. Perfect place to be. I keep loving myself so I can see there's only beauty in you, beauty in me. Oh, let's all stand up together and let the whole world see I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. My life is so good, precious and good. Yeah, I see. With every breath I take, with every step I take, it takes me higher on my path of awakening. See through the eyes of love, there's only one of us. So let's be grateful for all that's been given us. No need to live in fear. All of life is this. Oh, come on, let's love and let the love come shining in. Smiling faces, warm embraces. Oh, let's all stand up and let the whole world know I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Oh, I'm so grateful. Every day is so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. My life is so good, precious and good. Oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. Oh, so grateful, so thankful every day, every moment. So grateful, and I'm free. So it is.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Andy, awesome. Look at the dictionary under awesome. There's a picture of Andy. So I just told Bonnie, I said, I am really kind of grateful that we had Andy here to baptize the center back into live music. This is kind of, this is our baptism of music. So, well, I know you've all been waiting for the announcements eagerly to hear what's going to be happening. First thing I know that is true is we are going to have a Zoom meeting right after the service at 11:15. It's a hangout where you can spend a half hour chatting with everybody that's on the meeting. catch up with what's been going on, make plans for what you're going to do to stay cool today. The link is on the slide, but if you don't have time to copy it down, it's in the newsletter. They've put it in the chat. So you can get there and just spend a half hour talking up with people. Charmaine is hosting it today. So have a good time and log in. Not next Sunday, 2 Sundays. Next Sunday's 4th of July, but in 2 Sundays, we're coming back. We are going to be meeting live here at the center. We'll have the chairs set up for everybody to be here with the changes in the things going on here in Oregon. If you're vaccinated, you'll be able to attend without masks. If you're not vaccinated or you have immune compromised situations, we ask that you do plan on wearing a mask just for your own safety. And we will have hand sanitizer here too. But we're looking forward to getting back together, and we need volunteers to help with greeting, to help with setup, to help with the bookstore, to help with all kinds of things to make this community come back together again. So if you're missing everybody, maybe what you're missing is the chance to be in service. So contact us about being part of the volunteer team. Then starting July 7th or July 9th, depending on which one you attend, Wednesday nights at 6:30 or Friday mornings at 10, I'm going to be doing a 4-week book study online of Ernest Holmes' old classic, Creative Mind and Success. And it's just a little 100-page book. So we'll come together the first week and just kind of talk about it. The next 3 weeks, we'll be doing 33 pages a week and talk about it. And what each of us will be doing is building a prescription for ourselves for what is success. Because if you haven't defined what success is for you, how will you know when you get there? So think about being part of the book study. And let's see, Wednesdays, Danu is doing meetups Wednesday afternoons, Heart Space for all ages at 1 p.m. and then a Next Gen meeting at 3 p.m. And those are live right here at the center. So if you're hungry to get back together for some nice conversation, come in at 1 o'clock for all ages to just talk about what's going on in your heart. And if you're part of the Next Gen group, which is 18 to 35, come in at 3 o'clock, or come to both of them if you're a young'un. So anyway, that's good. And meet with Danu Green. Mondays at 2 p.m., Sean Ferguson is still doing integrative yoga. He integrates the practice of yoga with science of mind principles. And he teaches a beautiful lesson, and you don't have to be a full-on yoga person to do this. You can do it from a chair, or you could do it with yoga mat, whatever. It's set up to be inclusive. So check our newsletter. The link to sign up is there, and they'll give you a link to the class, to the online class. Next is Thursdays at 7:30 in the morning. Angela is still doing the forgiveness meditation, and that is an amazing and powerful time. Check it out online. Again, the information's in the newsletter. And Sunday, July 4th, if you would like, there is a men's Zoom meeting at 9 a.m. where you can get a chance for the guys to just check in together and say hey and get to know one another. So if you're interested in that, check it out. The link is in the newsletter. And Friday the 9th, that evening, Kathy Day is doing a virtual game night. So if you like playing board games and that sort of thing, and you want to do it online, and yes, it can be done online, get in the newsletter, go to our website, click on events, figure out which one you want, and register for it, and you'll get a link. Saturday, July 10th and 24th from 9 to 11 a.m., Angela is going to be teaching a course called Revealing Bias. And we all, when Bonnie was saying how we grow up with stories inside our head about who we are and what we are, we also grow up with stories about other people. And so this is a class designed to help us wake up to where we see things through filters that really aren't accurate, and to help us let them go. So I encourage you. Angela's doing some great work with social justice, and this is just one piece of it. So check it out. And that's it for this week. I am so grateful to everybody who's here. I'm grateful to our team. Bethel came in to be with Mike today in the sound room. We've had Dwayne and Kevin and Kathy and John here, and Liz is working it up at home. Andy came in and did his own little Zoom spot over here. We're all just together, and this is awesome. And we'll be together live in a couple of weeks. But until then, be well. Swing wide on that trapeze and be ready to let go, because your soul really is free. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for being. Love you.